He started with $0 and a camera. He now has 500 million subscribers and a $5 billion empire. Welcome to the Founder Files, Beyond the Brand. On June 12th, 2026, a 28-year-old from Greenville, North Carolina, sat inside a recreation of his childhood bedroom, while 600,000 people watched a counter tick upward in real time. When it hit 500 million, YouTube CEO Neil Mohan walked in and handed him a trophy that had never existed before, a custom Silver Panther play button made for one person, because no individual creator in the history of the platform had ever come close to this moment. Jimmy Donaldson, known to 500 million people as MrBeast, looked at the camera and said something that felt almost too honest for the moment. He said, "It does not make sense that I have 500 million subscribers." He was right. It does not make sense. And that is exactly why we are here. The story starts in February 2012. Jimmy Donaldson is 13 years old, living in Greenville, North Carolina, and he uploads his first YouTube video. It is a gaming video. Nobody watches it. He keeps going anyway. For the next 4 years, he posts consistently, obsessively, studying what works and what does not. Reverse engineering every viral video he can find. He is not particularly gifted at school. He is not from money. He attends a junior college briefly, then drops out, betting everything on a platform that had given him almost nothing back. His mother reportedly kicks him out of the house. For a stretch of time, he is living out of his car, still uploading, still studying, still convinced that if he could just crack the code of YouTube, everything would follow. That conviction is not inspirational mythology. It is the actual foundation of everything that comes after. Because what Jimmy Donaldson was doing in those early years was not just making content. He was building a system. He was learning, at scale and at speed, how attention works. By 2017, he crosses 1 million subscribers. For most creators, that is the finish line. For Jimmy, it is the starting gun. He begins producing videos built around one simple and radical idea. Do something so extreme, so generous, or so absurd that people cannot scroll past it. He buries himself alive. He counts to 100,000 out loud. He gives strangers enormous sums of money and films the reaction. The videos are not subtle. They are engineered. Every thumbnail, every title, every moment of the video is stress tested against one question. Will someone click on this? And will they stay? By 2019, the channel is in a different stratosphere entirely. The production budgets balloon. The giveaways get bigger. The world starts paying attention in a way that is no longer just YouTube famous. It is culturally significant. And Jimmy, still in his early 20s, begins asking a question that most creators never think to ask. What do I do with all of this attention? The answer arrives in the form of a burger. In 2020, MrBeast launches MrBeast Burger, a virtual restaurant brand operating out of ghost kitchens across the country. The idea is clever on paper. License the brand. Use existing kitchen infrastructure. Capture the audience's appetite, literally. At its peak, MrBeast Burger is operating out of hundreds of locations. But there is a structural flaw buried inside the business model, and it is going to matter enormously. The product quality is controlled entirely by the ghost kitchen partner. MrBeast controls the name. He does not control the burger. When the quality deteriorates and the customer complaints pile up, the damage lands on the brand, not the operator. The venture collapses. It is a public and painful lesson. But what happens next is the thing that separates founders who build empires from founders who build cautionary tales. Jimmy does not run from the lesson. He internalizes it completely. From that point forward, every business inside Beast Industries would be built on one non-negotiable principle: direct operational control. Never again would someone else hold the wheel on anything carrying his name. Out of that wreckage, Feastables is born. Launched in January 2022, Feastables is a snack and chocolate brand built from the ground up with Beast Industries controlling the supply chain, the product development, and the distribution strategy. The brand does not just use MrBeast as a face. It is engineered from the inside out as a consumer products company that happens to have the world's largest content engine as its marketing department. The results are extraordinary. Feastables generates $520 million in retail revenue in 2024. And then the projections for 2026 arrive. And they are almost difficult to believe. $1.5 billion in retail revenue, a projected tripling in a single year. To put that in context, that is not influencer brand performance. That is a mid-sized, publicly traded consumer goods company, built in 4 years, by a YouTube creator who learned what not to do from a ghost kitchen disaster. In 2024, something shifts at the structural level of the company. Jeff Hausenbold joins Beast Industries as CEO. Hausenbold is not a creator. He is the former CEO of Shutterfly and a managing partner at SoftBank Vision Fund, one of the most powerful technology investment vehicles in the world. His arrival signals something important. Beast Industries is no longer being run like a content business with product lines attached. It is being run like a holding company, the kind with a board, with subsidiaries, with institutional ambition. Suddenly you have a teenager who once filmed himself counting to 100,000, now sitting atop a corporate structure that includes Feastables, Beast Games, Lunchly, MrBeast Studios, Viewstats, and Beast Philanthropy. Each one a distinct operating entity, each one feeding into the larger machine. The creator economy has produced a lot of millionaires. Jimmy Donaldson may be the first to genuinely build what Wall Street would recognize as a conglomerate, but empires this large cast long shadows. Beast Games. Season 1 premieres on Amazon Prime Video and immediately becomes a record-breaking success. It is the most watched unscripted debut in Amazon Prime Video history. The format is simple and overwhelming. Over 1,000 contestants competing for millions of dollars in prizes. It is MrBeast at maximum scale. Then the lawsuits arrive. Contestants allege harassment and mistreatment on set during production. Beast Industries denies the claims. The litigation is ongoing as of mid-2026, and it represents the clearest sign yet that scaling a content empire into a production company carries an entirely different category of legal and reputational risk than uploading a YouTube video. What the crisis does, undeniably, is change how Season 2 is produced. More oversight, more structure, more institutional process. The lesson of MrBeast Burger echoes here too. Growth without operational control creates exposure. The brand is powerful enough to survive controversy, but it is not invincible. And Jimmy Donaldson, now running a company valued at $5 billion, knows that better than anyone. The lawsuits are not the only friction point. There is also the question of what it means to have 900 million followers across all platforms and still be one person making decisions. MrBeast's total cross-platform audience more than doubled between early 2024 and early 2026, crossing 900 million combined followers. That is not a content creator's problem. That is a media company's problem. The infrastructure has to keep up with the audience, and the audience is growing faster than almost any institution in history has ever grown. The $100 million Amazon contract helps. The $5 billion valuation helps. But valuation and cash flow are not the same thing. And the pipeline that Donaldson is building, a branded phone plan with a major US carrier, a book collaboration with James Patterson, a YouTube food channel, a potential theme park, and a Beast Games movie, all of that requires execution at a level that even experienced operators find genuinely difficult. The ambition is not in question. The operational complexity is. And then, February 2026 arrives, and Beast Industries makes a move that almost nobody in the creator economy has attempted. They acquire Step, a fintech platform designed specifically for teenagers. Step allows young users to build credit, manage money, and learn financial habits through a mobile-first experience. On the surface, it is an acquisition. Underneath, it is something more structural. MrBeast's core audience has always skewed young. That audience is now aging up. And with Step, Beast Industries is not just selling them snacks or entertainment. It is becoming their bank, their first financial relationship. The content machine is now a financial institution with hundreds of millions of potential customers already inside the funnel. That is not influencer strategy. That is vertical integration at a scale that would make a venture capitalist pause and recalculate. So where does this all land? Beast Industries was named to the Time 100 Most Influential Companies of 2026. Jimmy Donaldson holds a personal net worth of approximately $2.6 billion and owns more than 50% of Beast Industries. He has accumulated over 129 billion lifetime views on YouTube. He is 28 years old. Beast Games Season 2 hits #1 on Prime Video. Feastables is on a trajectory toward $1.5 billion in retail revenue. And on June 12, 2026, the CEO of YouTube personally delivers a trophy that has never existed before to a man who once lived out of his car because he refused to stop uploading. That arc is not normal. It is not the result of luck, or timing alone, or a single viral moment. It is the result of a system built over 13 years by someone who understood, earlier than almost anyone. That attention is the most valuable resource on earth, and that the creator who controls their product, their brand, and their distribution chain does not have to share the upside with anyone. The MrBeast story is often told as a content story. The thumbnails, the giveaways, the algorithm. And that story is real. But Beast Industries is a different story entirely. It is a story about what happens when a founder treats attention not as an end goal, but as raw material. When every subscriber is not just a viewer, but a potential customer. A potential citizen of an ecosystem that includes the food you eat, the shows you watch, the bank account you open, and the phone plan you carry. The burger failure taught him product control. The Amazon deal taught him institutional scale. The Step acquisition taught the market something it had not fully absorbed yet, that the largest individual media brand on earth was not content with being a media brand. Jimmy Donaldson is building something that does not have a clean category yet. Not a creator, not a studio, not a consumer goods company, not a fintech. All of it, simultaneously, under one roof, run by a man who still introduces himself the same way he did at 13, as someone who just really, really loves YouTube. That is the Beast Industries story as it stands today, at the absolute peak of its news cycle, with the trophy still fresh and the counter still climbing. If this kind of deep dive is what you come here for, then you already know what to do. Subscribe to the Founder Files so you never miss one. Drop a comment below and tell us what surprised you most. Was it Feastables? The Step acquisition? The fact that he was living out of his car and still uploading? We read every single one. More empires, more untold stories, more of the moments that happened before the brand became the brand. We will see you next time on the Founder Files.